Welcome back to Afternoon Express right here on S3, where we're keeping it plant-based, or relatively so, using budget-friendly, incredible Christmas-inspired foods. So whether you are having a vegetarian Christmas or not, this mushroom and spinach Wellington is the perfect meat-free alternative for you. Made with Clover Butro spread, this results in flaky puff pastry with a delicious filling that is packed with flavor and something that you would want to share with your loved ones.
So before we go into what Jay's about to do, I'm going to make the actual filling itself, and it also has mushrooms in it as well. So we've got some onions that are cooking up away. We've got them nicely sliced, and into this I'm going to go in with some of my thyme as well as some garlic. And this, in essence, obviously gives us that flavor balance that we want, and that the base that we're trying to give to our dish over here. And as you know, whenever you're making a Wellington, there's that. What is it called? Duxal. So yeah, one other a salmon Wellington or a steak Wellington, what it does is that it has a beautiful coating of mushrooms. We're gonna make something of that sort with this mixture over here. And then our salmon or our steak is, in essence, the portobello mushroom.
Got you. Now listen, those mushrooms look meaty, darling. Tell us about them.
And I'm glad you used that term, Pali, because these on a braai, next level. Wow. Next level. So I'm just going to saute these in the pan, get them nice and crusty. But the reason we actually cook everything before we assemble the Wellington is because moisture and puff pastry
do not mix.
They do not mix. They're not friends. So take your time with these processes. Make sure that you cook them down. All the moisture is out.
After you've cooked it, cool the mixture in the fridge. Do not use it immediately. If you use it immediately, not only would it also then bring moisture back, because as it cools, anything that's steaming will have the vapor will become water eventually. So you don't want that. So it is important. Cool your mixture, and then once it's cooled, then you can start the assembly process of your Wellington. So we mentioned that part about the duxal. This is where our mushrooms come in. This is going to be that outer layer, and then into it, I'm going to add our baby spinach into this mixture. I wouldn't suggest using the normal spinach because that stalk can be a bit hard to chew on when you're having this. So it is better to use that, unless you just make sure, use baby spinach, unless you make sure to remove the stalk or as much of it if you want to use that other more economical
Okay,
spinach.
got you. So now what is a Wellington without a golden brown puff pastry?
Yeah.
Exactly. And I've got a store-bought pastry here, Pali. So convenient, especially around the holidays and entertaining. Cutting down those steps is so important. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use our Clover Butro and spread this not only on top, but inside.
Love that.
And you know, with the goodness of dairy, it's so smooth, it's tasty, and you can just look at how easy it spreads on our puff pastry. It's not going to tear up our pastry. You know, we can just spread it and be generous with this part, because this really adds a lot of flavor into this dish.
Yeah, just look at that. I mean, it spreads so easily. If you were to make a sandwich as well, because it's so nice and smooth, it really wouldn't even, like Jay said, it wouldn't break through your bread, it wouldn't break through your puff pastry as well. So it is important just to make sure as well that as you're making the dish that you're keeping an eye on everything as you're cooking.
Yeah, it seems as if you do have to have your eyes on all of the stations. And on this side, I mean, I'm on eating station. I'm on taste station, which I do not mind. I do like Wellingtons, but I've never tried a vegetarian Wellington. My mom loves. I think Christmas is not Christmas without a salmon Wellington for her. So I'm actually looking forward to including this into our Christmas menu.
So I'm going to start with a layer of the mixture that Tumi's just made. And you can see that it's actually, you can see the moisture's cooked out.
Yeah,
so it's succulent, it's, you know, got a bit of a glisten from the oil.
But also it's not dry.
It's not dry.
Oh no, there's nothing worse than a dry Wellington.
And then, obviously you would need to cool these mushrooms down if you were making it at home, but I think just for the viewers at home, just to see the method to our madness today, I'm going to grab 2 of these bad boys, and you want to lay them flat, because when you cut into it, you're going to see that cross-section of the mushroom. And that's the beauty of this dish. And I'm going to go and add some more of the duxal that...
Again on the top.
Again on the top. Now, you could add so many things into this. You could add breadcrumbs, you could add biltong powder, you can add, you know, a bit of chili. I know you like your chili. Your chili,
Definitely that spice.
Okay, and then what I'm going to do is take the other part of our pastry and fold that over. Now, there's no real technique to this. The only technique would be to make sure that it's sealed. So in terms of the shape, you can play around with the shape, but I've got a bit of an egg wash. You could use water also if you don't use egg. And I'm just going to brush the seams, in between the seams. Okay, and then this will ensure that it's nice and sealed. And when you put it in the oven, the steam isn't going to escape. All that moisture is going to stay inside and keep it nice and juicy.
Well, definitely looking forward to diving into all of this Wellington goodness. If you would like to get your hands on this recipe, you already know where to go. Head over to our Afternoon Express website. Now, lady and gentlemen, put this in the oven for how long, at what temperature?
So we're going to actually put it in with a bit of a higher temperature, about 200 degrees. And I'm going to cook this for about 20 minutes until nice and golden brown.
And just like that, it seems as if we're well on our way with our Christmas-inspired menu.
I'd love another one, please, Mommy, with Butro and lots of jam.
Another sandwich.
Clover Butro. Spread the dairy goodness.
Made with love by Clover.